You are scrolling through TikTok when suddenly the feed freezes. You try swiping, but the screen is stuck. You grab your phone and dial your friend, but there's no signal. Confused, you open the front door and step out into the street to find everyone staring at their phones in stunned silence. It's not loading anything anymore. You try to hail down a cab, but the driver doesn't respond. His eyes are wide with dawning horror. This is happening everywhere. It started 90 minutes ago when multiple networks simultaneously lost connectivity to the internet backbone. Ever-present Google servers went offline, and the website root servers stopped responding. The first news stories describing the growing panic began disappearing from social media feeds. Now, amidst this unfolding crisis, people still don't know why the internet is down. But within seconds of its disappearance, some began to suspect it was the end of everything. We've been so thoroughly dependent on interconnectedness for so long that the mere possibility of losing it has become unthinkable. But what if one day we did? What would happen if the internet just turned off? Let's find out. 1 hour before total collapse, systems begin to fail. Across the globe, screens go dark. The internet is an invisible network connecting countless other networks. Without it, data can't flow and devices go offline. Planes lose navigation, hospitals lose life support, cars become bricks, electricity grids overload and explode. Within seconds, entire cities are plunged into darkness, cut off from the grid, cut off from each other, and cut off from the outside world. But even as panic spreads, there are some who knew this day would come. They've been preparing for months, years, decades. Some preppers have stockpiled food and water. Some have bugged out to remote locations. But even the most thorough preps won't help some. People who relied on medical equipment or medication will slowly slip away. If the blackout persists, those with disabilities will be particularly vulnerable. We should never have been so reliant on technology to begin with, says one woman. I'm almost 40 weeks pregnant. How do I deliver a baby without electricity or internet? Another asks, wondering if his pacemaker will continue to function. Some aren't worried. This won't last long, one man remarks, but it already has, and they won't know it because their phones are dead. 30 minutes before collapse, global chaos. Without electricity, transportation grinds to a halt. Fuel pumps can't calculate amounts dispensed. Payment terminals reject credit cards. Drivers stranded at traffic lights must abandon their cars and walk. Some will spend days hiking to their destinations, only to find the roads blocked by fallen power lines, burning vehicles, or impassable terrain. This is a nightmare scenario for emergency services, says one fire chief. We rely heavily on technology to dispatch our personnel. Without it, we're blind, and so are they. In places where people have gathered, such as sports arenas and concert halls, there's confusion and panic. As the clock ticks, people grow increasingly desperate to leave, but none can figure out where they're supposed to go. Others realize they have no idea where their loved ones are. Some frantically try to contact them through social media, but the posts won't go through. Others jump into their cars and hit the road, racing toward home or work or anywhere where they might find answers. Many abandon their vehicles at the side of the road, joining the throngs of people wandering through empty streets. 20 minutes before collapse, communications cease. Television stations sign off, unable to transmit their programs without internet connection. Radio stations play emergency broadcasts warning people to stay indoors, but few will listen. And so throughout the country, car alarms blare, dogs bark, sirens wail. Amidst the cacophony, the pleas of motorists and pedestrians mix together in a chorus of fear and confusion. Without the internet, ATMs don't dispense cash. Customers flood banks demanding withdrawals, but the staff can't process any transactions. Soon, customers are met with the cold stare of locked doors. Banks aren't the only ones. Grocery stores shutter their doors, warehouses seal their gates. Food production and distribution grind to a halt. Restaurants remove their online ordering platforms and wait for the inevitable rush of hungry customers. But those with foresight will have already purchased enough supplies to sustain themselves for a while. 10 minutes before collapse, governments fall. Throughout the world, heads of state gather around televisions, watching as the news cycle repeats the same ominous headlines over and over again. Their experts scratch their heads, offering speculation rather than solutions. Now hundreds of thousands of people are trying to contact emergency services, but phone lines are jammed. Calls don't go through. Sirens' wails echo unanswered through the streets. As word spreads that several countries have lost connection to the internet, citizens take to the streets. At first, there are protests, then riots. People need information, and they need it now. When that doesn't come, frustration turns to anger. Government buildings are set ablaze. Leaders flee, desperately seeking sanctuary. 5 minutes before collapse, the world ends. Amidst the swirling chaos, a few sit quietly in their homes, watching the digital apocalypse unfold. "I saw this coming," one blogger remarks to his camera. He prepared for this 2 years ago. He bought solar panels, a generator, non-perishable food, bottled water. He learned how to identify edible plants and secure his property. He even bartered with a neighbor for eggs and meat. Now he sits comfortably in his well-stocked pantry, watching the world burn outside his window. But many others aren't so fortunate. Without modern conveniences, diseases spread quickly, killing millions. Crops spoil in the fields, meat spoils in refrigerators. Without refrigeration or modern medicine, injuries become infected, leading to sepsis and organ failure. Amputations become necessary, but without proper sterilization techniques. Basic surgeries quickly turn deadly. Hospitals are overwhelmed and forced to ration dwindling supplies of food, water, and medicine. Doctors and nurses are forced to make excruciating decisions about who will receive life-saving care and who will be left to die. Decades after the Great Blackout, survivors emerge from their hiding places, blinking at the harsh glare of the sun. They've lost so much: their homes, their jobs, their families, but also their history. Entire libraries of knowledge and culture have been erased. Survivors struggle to rebuild society from the ground up, clinging to the tattered remnants of their past. They'll need to learn to live in harmony with each other and the environment. If they want to survive, they must discard the individualism that permeated the old world and embrace a new sense of community. Some survivors believe the blackout was an act of God, a punishment for humanity's sins. Others blame it on a solar flare, a cyber attack, or a malfunction in the infrastructure. Still, others believe it was all part of a sinister government conspiracy. Regardless, everyone agrees that it's time to move forward. Humanity has been pushed back to the Stone Age, but the future remains unwritten. The survivors must decide what kind of world they want to create. Will it be better than the one that was lost? Only time will tell. Now the question is, what would you do to survive the digital apocalypse? Let us know in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe for more Glitch Theory episodes.